I am in pain. Hi, my name is Rachel, and today we're talking about Lightbringer by Claire Legrand, the third and final book in the Imperium trilogy. I'm going to talk about some spoiler-free thoughts, and then I'm going to switch to spoilery rambling. Honestly, it'll be rambling. I had a lot of expectations, and a lot of them were met. I am just distraught over the ending. I am just, oh, ouch. Okay, let's spoiler free. Let's talk about my dislikes first. Let's get that out of the way. First and foremost, I want to talk about a very petty thing that I did not like. I noticed throughout the book that she was I noticed very early on in the book that she was consistently using the word pale to describe like everything, and it was driving me bonkers. I couldn't stand it. I don't understand why we had to hear the word pale in a book called Lightbringer. The second thing that kind of irked me was how overpowered Corian was in this book. I felt like he did not really have anybody to match him until the very, very end, which I guess was kind of the point, but I don't know. I would have liked to see just a little bit more fight. Honestly, I would have liked a little more action throughout the book because he was just so overpowered. And that's another thing, is the book took forever to pick up. Forever. It didn't really pick up until about 65 to 70%, which is just, that's a lot of book. It's like almost 600 pages and it took like 65 to 70% to pick up. Yikes. Number 4, there was a character death, and I'm not going to say who because this is non-spoilery, and it was so anticlimactic, and it shouldn't have been because of reasons that I don't want to. I mean, they've been throughout the entire series, they've been present, and it was so abrupt and so glossed over that I really was disappointed in it. I just didn't want to be underwhelmed, and I was very underwhelmed by it. 5, there were a couple of things that felt a little useless and dropped in and then never explored again, which is a big issue I have in a lot of like thick fantasy books. We don't like to see it. I'll go into more detail on that in the spoilery section. And number 6, I was able to guess prematurely who the prophet was, and I wish that I hadn't, but that's on me for having the brain that I have, I guess. I don't know, like I think too much about these things and like try to speculate, and I guess the hints were always there technically, but I figured it out way too soon in the book, which I still love the answer to that question. I just wish that I hadn't figured it out. Maybe that's on me. It's not really a fault of the book. Okay, what did I like about it? So there's a bunch of new POVs. There's a lot. It used to be just Riel and Eliana, and then in book 2 in Kingsbane you got a couple more, but in this one you get a bunch, a whole bunch, and I think that almost all of them, with the exception of one, did such a huge service to this book. It did a remarkable job in developing the characters, particularly Audric. Another thing I liked was that everything came full circle, and I felt that it got the ending that it deserved. A lot of people disagree with me, and I don't really understand why. I felt like it was a very, if you watch Doctor Who, it reminded me of watching like a very emotional episode of Doctor Who, you know, because the time traveling. It all made total sense in the end, despite it breaking my heart. And I also was really satisfied to the answers that we got and for questions that we've had since like book 1, so I really enjoyed it. Overall, I gave it 4.5 stars, and I'm still heartbroken. I don't even know what to say. I'm heartbroken. Why'd you do that to me? That's it for my non-spoiler thoughts. So if you're going to continue this video, just know that you will be spoiled for Lightbringer. So go away if you don't want spoilers. I do not want to ruin it for you. Okay, so into spoilers. Let me kind of expand on my dislikes first. Corian being overpowered really bothered me, and he only had really one match. Riel was kind of a match for him, but not if he fought her hard enough with the mind jumbling. He was really overpowered. And despite Riel saying multiple times, use your powers against me and I'll kill you. How will you kill him? How, Riel? How? He was only matched by Ludovine, the frickin' prophet, which, awesome. So awesome. I, from books 1 and 2, thought it was Remy the whole time. But then there was a moment where Eliana asks the prophet so you're an angel then, because you can do the mind speak. And I was like, oh yeah, how would Remy be able to do that? That doesn't make any sense. The only answer is it's got to be Ludovine. And I was like, oh no. And then I read it that way and I was right, but it's not disappointing because it really worked out so perfectly. Like that really came full circle. It was beautiful. So the POV that I did not like and the death that I did not like was Tal. I don't understand what the purpose of that was. All that weirdness about him having like feelings for her or something, which ew. And then he has like multiple chapters where he's like going and trying to find her, only to find her and she immediately kills him. What? She like turned him into ash. What? And I don't say what in like a I'm emotionally devastated. I'm saying it in like a what was the point? What was the point? A total waste. A total waste. And he was so immediately like angered by her. He's like, I would have died for you. You are about to. You are about to. Yosef Farrakora, her adoptive father, had very little value and his death was just shock value. It was nothing. And I felt this way with a lot of other parents in the series, like Navi's parents. She never brought them up. They both died and she never brought them up. That was so weird. But I loved Navi's relationship with, oh crap, I already forgot her name. Elizabeth something. That was so stinking cute. It was like, it's the end of the world. You're pretty. I like you. Let's be together. It was adorable. And Navi is just the sweetest. She super deserved that. But it doesn't matter because that future is dead. Oh my gosh. I can't even think about it. Audric's POVs were excellent. Everybody really complains about Audric, and I think that this book did such a huge service to him. And his mental health, the journey he went on through that part where he's just sitting in the castle of those two queens and he just breaks down. I felt that in my soul. It was so well done. Just excellent, excellent, excellent. I think that Simon's motivations and everything made sense. I was a little confused about how the prophet Ludovine was able to like get in his head and fix it so that Corian couldn't find out that Simon was a double agent, but whatever, I let it slide because I like the story that much. Remy training with the new Jessamine was really, really cool. I just wish we had seen more of it. I just wish that we had seen more of it, honestly. And I felt like Jessamine kind of turned very quickly at the end, but I really enjoyed all the POVs that we got from her training Remy. I thought that that was like really deliciously dark. But the ending, I am so distraught. I thought that that scene, the entire scene where Eliana and Remy finally get to Riel and Audric, it was like 2 in the morning because I could not stop reading and I got chills. Oh, there was so much emotion. And like Eliana convinces her mom and he keeps saying to Riel as she's fighting Corian, I'm right here, I'm with you. And then Ludovine showed up after she had just died in a different timeline, and so did Simon. And then Ludovine is the reason that Riel gets time enough to be rid of Corian. Oh, that was a powerful scene. I sat there and cried. But then that whole future that Eliana had where Remy was her brother and her and Simon had already met and she had those adopted parents and everything, that's all gone. That's so awful. That's so sad. And it makes sense. It's so sad that that's gone. And then in the end, Riel, oh man, I knew when she was sitting at that table, like the post like war council essentially, she's sitting there and she's just like not answering. I knew that she was done and she was giving up. I was like, no, don't. But it made sense because she had really lost herself and given in too much and then but anytime that a parent has to leave a child, I cannot handle it. So I just bawled my eyes out. And it all made sense in the end, and Eliana and Simon are technically, you know, in the vicinity of each other, which is sweet, but oh my gosh, I just weeped like a small babe. It was horrible. it was awful. But it was also bittersweet, and I'm happy with it. I don't really understand why other people aren't happy with it, But I thought it was the right ending. I thought it was the perfect ending for what Claire Legrand had orchestrated up till then. So yeah, 4.5 stars. Let me know if you guys, if anybody, I don't think anybody I know has read this. I don't think anybody at this point. I got it and I finished it fairly quickly. And not a lot of people like read the Imperium trilogy that like I talked to. Only a few of my friends have read it. So yeah, Emotional Devastation, if you're up for that, highly recommend. That's it. That's all my thoughts on Lightbringer. Leave your comments down below, like and subscribe if you want to. I'm all about choices. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!